and gentlemen, welcome to the main event.
Let's get ready to rumble!
This one by Mattingly. Oh, hang on to the roof.
Wrong in the end zone. 5 seconds left in the game. Do you believe in miracles? Yes! Little roller up along first. Behind the man. It gets through Buster. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win it.
Oh, thank goodness. Oh, lots of stuff going on. My laptop, just to throw this out there, because, we're live now, so might as well just have a normal discussion about nothing. My laptop wouldn't hook up to the internet, so I couldn't post the live show on the Facebook page, and I was having a hard time. It was very difficult, but I finally figured it out, so we're good now. Anyway, this is Sports and Sorts. It's Monday morning. We go live on YouTube every Monday and Saturday at 10 a.m. Today at 10:15 because technical difficulties. I have been changing my stuff around. I'm taking full responsibility here for this. I have been changing my mixing board and changing speaker and all that kind of stuff. So there's been some technical difficulties. I try and work out the kinks ahead of time. It doesn't always work.
You're taking full responsibility?
I'm
Wait,
taking
hold on. You're being accountable.
Yeah.
Oh, that's refreshing, because it's not something that you hear a lot from, say, Patriots fans. You know what? I may have retired from Facebook last night, but you scumbags are still stuck with me one way or the other, because I'm going to be here. You're going to see this pretty face every Monday and Saturday in your dreams. I'm still going to be there. I'm just not on Facebook anymore. I've decided to walk away from that because, you know what? Quite frankly, it was time to move on. I was kind of getting bored with Facebook anyway. Facebook, let me tell you something. Facebook is a very disturbing place. It really is. I've had some time. You and I have talked about this before, and I've had some time, especially over the last few months, to reflect on Facebook a little bit more and what exactly it is. And I actually think it's a very toxic environment. I really do. I actually kind of woke up this morning after knowing that I was not going to be on Facebook for a long time, if not forever. And I felt like really good this morning, like very refreshed. And I'm not going to sit here and give Patriot fans satisfaction and say, you guys are the ones who drove me off Facebook. Believe me, this has kind of been brewing for a long time. I think I just kind of used that as a nice little excuse to walk away. But I will tell you, though, that Patriot fans on Facebook last night and on social media in general were, they're right back to being their normal selves. I guess it's good that in a world where there is just, we are in an absolutely insane universe right now. The world is topsy-turvy. People are angry and mad. But, the one shining bright light through all of it is the consistency of Patriot fans. They don't change. They're still assholes. They always will be.
Wait,
anyway,
where's that bleep button?
Well, you weren't ready for this, and I try and pop surprises on you every now and then so I can get natural reactions out of you. But I will tell you, I'm looking forward to. I'm very much looking forward to my Facebook retirement and to a long, healthier life on Twitter. Where I've been for quite a while anyway, and frankly, Twitter's been my more. That's the social media platform that I use way more often anyway. So, but don't worry, we're still doing the show. We're not quitting. We're not on Facebook Live anyway. So what does it matter? We're YouTubers now. So I just wanted to get that out there before we dive into our regularly scheduled program here on Martin Luther King Day. And happy Martin Luther King Day to everyone.
Yes, absolutely. Happy Martin Luther King Day. It's a day of remembrance, a day of, I would like to say, it's not celebration so much. It's more of like reflection. So I hope everyone is having a good time. And by reflecting on what our country has been through and how we've grown. Or how we haven't grown in certain stances.
I'm sure, what's sad about today is that
how to make it better, how to make your world a better place.
Yes. And what's unfortunate, I think, about today is that if Martin Luther King were alive today, I don't think he'd be very happy with the state of things. He probably would have been much happier 3 or 4 years ago, but I don't think he'd be too pleased with the way things are. But you know what?
Well, he might have also been a part of that Me Too movement. So I don't want to get into that.
Well, you know what, I don't either. But you know what, the man might be gone, but his spirit lives on for sure. And I would like to believe very much that we all, as we go throughout our daily routines, think about the kind of society that he maybe would have wanted us to have been. And right now it's a little bit ugly, but you know what? There will be better days ahead.
Yes.
I can't make that promise,
absolutely.
but I really hope so.
I hope so. I mean, that's all you can do is, do better.
Promise of a better tomorrow.
Yeah, that's all you can do as an individual. You can just do better, and you can help out people that are in need. And that's all you can do. Treat everybody with respect, how you would want to be treated. All right, so we have a couple of comments here. My mother posted a couple already. She said there's no closed captioning. She's hard of hearing. So she said she can't hear us, but she said no closed captioning, so you'll have to listen to me, but I can't hear. See what you're saying. Go Patriots, because she's a Patriots
Maybe it's
fan.
Best she didn't hear the opening part.
Yeah. Well, I told her that there is closed captioning. It just comes after the fact. They can't do it live, but when you put it onto YouTube and it's done recording, I think then they can put it on there. So you just got to check out the recorded version. She still can't hear this, but I kind of put it on there. So
okay,
all right. So anyway, if you like these videos, go ahead and give them a thumbs up and click that subscribe button. You can also find the Sports and Sorts anywhere podcasts are played, www.sportsandsorts.libsyn.com. And of course, I am one of the hosts. My name is Shane Moore.
And I'm the Prime Man.
Or also known as the Wookiee, apparently, because Damien said there's a face behind that Wookiee mask. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Shane and the Bryman. You can't find the Bryman on Facebook, but I think you can find him on Twitter. You can find me. Find the show on Twitter at Shane and Bryman, where all our posts. We post all our videos. We have some other newsworthy topics that also gets posted. And lastly, if you comment during the show, we'll put it up on the screen as you have seen already. Today we got the NFL Championship round, where both road teams win their games in overtime. Both road teams win on the road.
Yeah.
In overtime. That's incredible. And maybe if we have a little time, we'll get into some baseball hot stove action too. So we got a great show today. Let's go.
You are listening to Sports and Sorts with Shane and the Bryman.
All right, first up, Rams versus Saints. Sunday afternoon.
Yes.
The first game, yes. The first up, we will talk about the first game. You've already kind of dove into the Patriots a little bit, but yeah, we're not going to go and give our picks yet. We're not doing that yet, but we will get into some stuff that happened during the game. So we start off with the first game, Rams versus Saints, a matchup that was really fun to watch for the most part. There was times that it was a little slow, especially in the first quarter. I mean, the Saints got up 13 points. The Rams gave them a 13-point lead. Eventually, ended up coming back to win that game. Thankfully for me, so I could get one right this weekend. You also only got one right this weekend, but ultimately, you're a winner chicken dinner, because you picked at the beginning of the season Rams Patriots.
I did
in the Super Bowl. Yep. I had the Rams in the Super Bowl too. But I did not have the Patriots.
Who did you have? Steelers.
Yes.
Did, okay.
Yeah, and I gave up on them about, I don't know, week 9, week 10. I was like, you know what, this team is just too all over the place. They are so incredibly disorganized and just all over each other. They're emotional. I just gave up on them early.
You know what? I've had a good year with predictions, right?
Yes,
done pretty well for myself this year.
Spectacular.
You would think I had been happy about getting that prediction right, but I'm actually kind of not. Not just because the Patriots are there, but also because, God, in a lot of ways, it sort of speaks to the powerhouses of the league. I mean, and look, am I the only? I'm definitely not the only person who picked the Rams and Patriots at the beginning of the year to be in the Super Bowl. I'm sure there were thousands of other people and sports critics and personalities who picked this same Super Bowl matchup.
Probably.
It almost disappoints me in a way that it wasn't something else, because what do I care about being wrong? I have nothing at stake. I don't put money on this. So it's kind of unfortunate in a way that these are the two teams that are actually still left standing. Am I happy that I got it right? I don't know, maybe like a small part, but for the most part, no. As you know, I generally like being wrong and hate being right.
Yes.
This is another one of those situations where I don't like being right. So, yeah, it was, but I'll tell you though, Rams Saints, first of all, both these games were great. Like you said, these were clearly, and I mean as clear as day, the four best teams in the NFL. I don't even think it can be questioned. So, it's what's great about the NFL, unlike say a college football playoff, is it's not subject to human beings ranking teams. You get into the tournament, and then the winners advance. And the final four teams were the best four teams in the NFL. I mean, maybe some people might say, yeah, well, the Chargers had a better record, but you know what? When it comes down to it, the Patriots, because of their history, and not just ancient history, goes on for 20 years now, but also recent history. They've been in 3 straight Super Bowls now.
Yeah.
So it's not like the Patriots were a dead team. They were very much alive and kicking. And you know what? The 4 best teams were there. And in the end, I mean, whether you want to call these the 2 best teams or not, this was, like I said, this was a lot of individuals' preseason pick. So you could argue that the 2 best teams are there. I mean, there's a very easy case for the Patriots, who my guesses are probably going to be, I don't know about heavy favorites, but I guess I would imagine they'll be slight favorites going into the Super Bowl. I haven't seen the early lines yet, but anyways, at any rate, this game, Rams Saints, look, yes. Fortunately, the thing we have to talk about right off the bat is the ugly thing. And this absolutely heinously blown missed call.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Sean Payton's pucker face that he always does. That's the ugly thing. I thought you were talking.
Well, I look. This is a real. I mean, it's been a black eye. It's been a black eye all year on the NFL, and it's in one of its 3 premier games of the year, the Championship Sunday games and the Super Bowl. There was some ugly officiating. Both of these games had it, but this game stands out. I mean, and because of the national spotlight and the magnitude of the game, it really is evident. And I mean, Sean Payton is definitely a weird and quirky guy, though. I mean, the fact that he got on the phone, like, as soon as the game was over and called the NFL office so he could basically hear them admit, yeah, we blew it.
Yeah.
Dude, go be with your team. Go be with your team. You don't need to, you do not, the first thing you do, he got on the phone with the NFL before he even got into the media room to do the post-game conference.
Yep.
Go be with your team. Talk to your team. Forget about the NFL office. That can, look, everybody saw the game. Yep. Every human being saw the game. I don't know of one person, every single post I saw on social media indicated that there was not one person who I saw that thought that was a good call. Yeah. Well, except for, actually, I take that back. There was somebody who did actually think it was a good call. McVay. McVay actually thought it was he thought it was a fine non-call. He actually did. I was like, oh my God, dude. Like, even Robley, the guy who committed the should have been flag, was like, yeah, it was pass interference.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, McVay, do better. But look, Sean Payton, you got to do better too, though, man. Go be with your team at that moment. You can call the league. Today is the day where you pick up the phone and call the league office and say, you guys got to do something, because this is just bad. And look, this brings into play the question about whether or not there needs to be some kind of ability to challenge non-calls. I know technology has definitely, really, really forced its way into the conversation here in professional sports. Mm-hmm. I think, though, in the case of challenging plays, I think it's actually worked out well. I think you get better incomes. This was like, the thing about this was it was just not open to interpretation because Robley didn't even just commit one foul. He committed like 2 or 3. I mean, there were multiple infractions at play.
Head-to-head, pass interference.
Head-to-head, pass interference. The guy never looked back at all. I mean, it was just completely... It wasn't even close.
I mean, I disagree with that. When you watch the play in full motion, when it's going live, the ball gets there at the same time he hits him. It gets there at the same exact time, and I could see, and this is why I can't blame the refs, because I personally have a hard time blaming humans for making quick decision calls on the field on bang plays. And the only way to make it almost right is, like you said, is they have to go to the reviews and on all the calls. And I say almost right because humans are still making the calls when reviewing it, and they will still get it wrong from time to time. They will. There always have been bad calls in big games made. Jeter's home, for instance, like for all Yankees fans, Jeter's homer against the O's. That's still an argument for some fans against the Yankees, and there are arguments for both sides. He would have caught it anyway due to the trajectory. He wouldn't have caught it anyway because due to the trajectory. He was lined up perfectly for the catch. When in reality,
he would have caught it. By the way,
when in reality, I don't think he would have. I thought it was going to go over his glove. I thought it was going to hit the top of the wall. But in reality, it could have hit him in the head and went so high in the air, the center fielder could have caught it. But we don't know because it didn't happen. So in reality, the Saints had plenty of chances to come back and win this game. They even won the coin flip. They won the coin flip in overtime and Breeze threw a pick.
We're going to disagree.
And then, in all actuality, the game shouldn't even been that close because Breeze lucked out on multiple times of throwing interceptions. So the Rams played better, the coach the game better, and the kicker with ice water in his veins. They won the game. So that I feel like it doesn't matter. You can overcome bad calls. There have been plenty of teams that have overcome bad calls, and there are plenty of teams that drop the ball on after they just can't get up from the mat after a bad call. And in this case, the Saints had every opportunity to still win the game. They didn't because Breeze threw a pick. I also think that there was some questionable calls by Sean Payton. But when I was going through like because I like to watch the review of the whole game and everything like that to just jog memory of what happened during the game. And then I was looking through comments. And my favorite one was by this guy who calls himself Mick Jagger. He said they needed a wheelbarrow to carry out Greg Zuerlein and his enormous brass balls. Because that guy, with all the kicking woes that have happened this year, that guy went and tied up the game on a 48-yarder and then won the game on a 57-yarder. And that would have been good for probably 65 yards. That dude has some serious brass balls.
I actually, my wife was sitting with me watching, and when Zuerlein hit that kick, I was like, that would have been good from 67.
Yeah.
I mean, that was just an absolute drilled bomb.
Dude has
one of the most clutch kicks in that situation that you can imagine. The one thing I am going to disagree with you, though, about is this whole, I hate the whole concept that when one team is, up big, or if the team has opportunities, I hate the whole idea that, you had your chances to put it away.
Even if he gets that call, there's no chance, there's no guarantee that they're going to put the ball in the end zone.
Of course, there's no guarantee, but you have to. You still have to acknowledge that it was an absolutely heinous call. It's just horrific. It's horrific.
I can never really ultimately. I never do ultimately fault the refs because they're human.
What are you talking about? You and I have ripped the refs all year on this show. It's been one.
No. You
show
have.
After another.
You've ripped the refs a lot. I have not. I just sit there and I just kind of let you go.
I don't. That's not true. You don't agree with me that officiating is very bad.
I do, but I can't ultimately blame them because there are ways to make it better. They just haven't done it.
So why not have the ability to challenge a play?
I agree.
If you can challenge,
but ultimately you're still leaving it in the hands of a human. And there's gonna be calls that people are gonna freak out. And there's been multiple this year where you were like, that should have definitely been overturned, and they didn't overturn it. Or that should have definitely been a guaranteed catch, and they called it a catch in the field, but they still overturned it. And it happens still.
My problem is there's a couple things. One, by bringing technology into the game, you've already opened that door. So you have to be able to just kick it down at this point. You can't just leave it open a crack and, let mice come and go as they want to.
Saying that we're okay with bringing robots into the fold, that I always have an argument for, because I feel like you are narrowing your chances of success. Like, you are having more success if you bring other ways in. But the problem is now that football game is going to be slowed down to a crawl. Unless you're just going to still use the challenge flags.
Yeah, you get challenge flags.
Right.
I'm not saying full-blown every single play, but there have to be
But
challenges.
then there's still going to be really bad calls.
Sure,
and they're not going to be able to be challenged.
Nope,
because
you're right.
So that it's
and then they're going to
fixing the problem.
They're going to do the thing where under 2 minutes the review has to be an official review because you can't throw a challenge flag, which I think is also really stupid.
But do they do that on every single play?
Because the biggest issues come in the last 2 minutes of the game usually. So the fact that you can't throw a flag on that and that it has to go to an official review is also dumb.
Yeah. Well,
we have to stop making excuses for the NFL because it's the only reason the NFL gets away with as much crap as it does is because it makes as much money as it does. My other problem with what you said before is I hate this whole idea about teams, you should be able to, you had the game put away, you should have been able to put it away. This is an NFL, this is a sports game. Mm-hmm. These games ebb and flow. Teams get up big, then teams come back. You can't just sit there and say, well, they were up 13-0, that should have been it. It should have never come down to this. The Patriots were up 14-0 yesterday, and the Chiefs came back on them and got the lead a couple of different times. It's the ebb and flow of a sports game.
Right.
These are sports. So you can't sit there and say, well, you know what, you had your opportunities to put them away, you should have put the foot on the throat. It's not that easy. These
I didn't say they should have put it on the throat.
And die.
They had opportunity. That's all I said.
Of course they had opportunity.
They had plenty of opportunity to win that game again.
I'm just saying that, look, in the biggest that game, to me, it's got there's like a huge asterisk next to it as far as I'm concerned. I'm not questioning. Look, the Rams are a good team. If you had told me at the beginning of the game the Rams are going to go in and win this game, I'd have been fine with that. I just hate the fact that that game, which I thought was a very good game, was marred by that ending, because it was. Now, Sean Payton definitely, acted like a child by calling the NFL office as soon as he, Roger Goodell, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I mean, come on, go be with your team. Go be with your team, man. That's you handled that part wrong. Was he right to be pissed? Of course.
He handles a lot of things wrong. He's not the most.
He does.
He's not the most.
And look, you're always going to have people. You're always going to have people who will, be very. Never forget the whole Bounty Gate thing. And look, I never forget the Patriots cheating. I can't wrong people for not forgetting about Bounty Gate. Bounty Gate was a really bad thing. Think about what that was. You're paying guys, you're incentivizing guys to hurt people.
Yep.
It was really bad.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really bad. It is actually worse. It's worse than cheating. You're trying to hurt people, and then you're paying them to hurt them. It's
it's bad.
It's not cool.
Mm-hmm. As Chuck Larrabee would say, not cool.
It's not cool. But you know what though? I mean, look. So and something I did actually see a lot of tweets last night. A lot that think that these last 2 years of what's happened to the Saints, and these last 2 years for Saints fans have been absolutely brutal.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of tweets that kept bringing up karma for Bounty Gate, karma for Bounty Gate, karma for Bounty Gate. I was like, wow. Like, man,
I mean, the biggest thing that really stinks is that Drew Brees, as good as he was this year, his skill set is going to erode. And unfortunately, I don't know how much longer this Saints team is going to be able to keep going in this way. Because and that's the unfortunate thing, because a guy who's as great as he is, there's a chance that this is the last time that he had a legit shot at winning a Super Bowl. He's good, he's great, and everything, but we have seen many times where all of a sudden the next year their skill set just erodes and falls off a cliff. We've seen that in baseball, we've seen it in football, we've seen it in so many sports. I don't think he's going to fall off a cliff. I do think that they have worked a game plan for him to keep him so he has the best chance of success, like with his throws, and that's why his accuracy has gone up so much, is because he's doing a lot shorter throws. And I just think that because of that, I don't see his team being able to keep doing this year after year after year to get themselves in the best shape and in the best position possible to win a Super Bowl. So I unfortunately, for someone as great as he is, I think this might be the last chance that he really realistically has at winning a Super Bowl. But who knows? I mean, next year they could come out at 14-2 and be the favorite. I don't know.
See, but here's the problem. They were what did they go? 14-2 or 13-3 this year?
13-3. Yeah.
They were favorites. They had home field advantage, and they didn't get the job done.
Right.
So my point is that they could be right back in this situation again next year and lose again.
Yep.
And maybe
there's some good teams. There's some really good teams. I'd
really like to see Drew Brees finish his career with a little bit better of a flourish than this. I really hate to see him. I hate to see this end for the Saints.
Like him go down like in a shootout. And like he throws for 380 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks, but like he just comes up short or something like that. Like that'd be fine.
No, I mean, I'd like to see him get another ring because I like the guy so much.
I like him too, but yeah, I mean,
he's a very likable guy, and his head coach may not be, but he is.
Yeah,
and I would like to see for his legacy, for him to have that second ring. I think it would. I think it would mean a lot. It would get we talked about this the other day. It moves him into that as it is, he's already, I believe, a top 5 quarterback all time. But I think this really solidifies that and cements it when you have 2 rings and now you're in that conversation with the Elis and the Ben Roethlisbergers and the guys who have won multiple. It's just it's too bad. But you know what? Good for the Rams. You know what? They avenged that loss. Marcus Peters made a complete imbecile out of himself last night. No shocker there. After the game, running over to the sideline to get in Sean Payton's face, and then you had a little melee or whatever. I mean, he's just he can go eat his gumbo now, whatever. Yeah. He's a fool. Yeah. That guy's an absolute fool. And you know what? He's good. Julian Edelman and the rest of these no-name receivers on the Patriots are going to eat his lunch next week. In a couple weeks, it's going to be awful. It's going to be an embarrassment. So he won't be laughing then. But hey, look, congrats to the Rams. It was a great game. Both games were really great, actually. I just hated the end.
One was more fun than the other.
This game, to me, was the law-abiding citizen of games. Great movie all the way to the crappy end.
All right, so let's get into the Patriots versus Chiefs in Arrowhead.
Oh, well, that's our show, folks. We'll see you next week.
If Patriots fans were pizzas, they'd be cocksucker supremes.
See, sure you can hear it now. I got it back. I brought it back.
Stand by that.
So, all right. This year, I have been giving the Patriots pretty much no credit, for much of the season. I've always kind of, I've given them a little bit of credit, but always said I just felt like they were going to go 10-6. They ended up going 11-5, and this would be the start. This is like the serious start of the decline. It's going to be a slow decline. I figured next year they probably go like 9-7. I also said they wouldn't make the Super Bowl this year, and they did. I just don't care that they made the Super Bowl because Brady is playing at a much higher level than he has most of the season in this postseason so far. I just don't see him being able to keep it going. His team is not that good. He makes more errant throws than ever. They get lucky with a lot of calls.
Did you watch the game?
I did watch the game. Did you see
I don't think I got lucky with calls.
There was at least 2 chances that they could have picked the ball. They had the offsides call that would have ended the game for the Chiefs, but instead, there was the stupidity of the guy with his hand in the neutral zone. Like that was absolutely moronic. They could have absolutely handed that game over to them, but It is what it is. And apparently the analytics of when Brady scores on the opening drive, they win like 99.9999% of the games. Apparently that skipped Andy Reid's desk because he just gave it to him. Like, go ahead, take the ball.
Apparently defense skipped Andy Reid's desk.
Yes, his defense was a
sin. He allowed the exact same crap to happen that the Chargers allowed every time. I mean, Julian, the only difference was Julian Edelman wasn't quite as open as he was against the Chargers. But every time on that last drive, I was texting with the guys, and every single we're like, oh, here we go to Edelman again, 3rd and 10. Here we go to Edelman. How do you not stop it? How do you not like double team him?
Yeah.
How do you? I would rather leave somebody else open in single man coverage at that point. I mean, why would you not double team him? How do you not have a safety drop into hell? And how do you not know that Brady's going over the middle when you got Tony Romo sitting in the booth like a soothsayer up there calling every damn play right?
I think that's the problem. I think that's the biggest problem is that...
And Andy Reid, and you don't know what Tony Romo knows?
Yeah. I think that's the problem, is that Tony Romo probably knows it better than a lot of offensive and defensive coordinators. I think he understands the game a little bit better.
He's an unbelievably cerebral mind up there.
Yes.
You know what's gonna happen? You know for a fact there's gonna be a bunch of teams bang on it. Not this year, I don't think, because all these head coaching vacancies are filled. But next year, there's going to be teams who want. They're going to say, you can pass go and collect $200. You don't need to be a coordinator. You don't need to be a QB coach. We want you to be the head coach.
Oh, I think he's going to be an offensive coordinator somewhere. Do you think
so?
Yeah.
I mean,
I think he'd be good as an offensive or defensive coordinator. I think he'd be good at both.
Here's the thing. It's a really interesting spot for Tony Romo because I think he's having an unbelievable amount of fun doing what he's doing.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that's evident by the fact that he's as good at it as he is.
Mm-hmm.
If you're Tony Romo, I mean, look, the guy, I'm sure, in his gut, he's probably still has that burning fire of an athlete that wants to, and he can't do it on the field anymore as an athlete, but maybe he can be on the sideline as a coach or a coordinator, or both at some point and win a championship, and that would be his way to get a ring. He also could end up being the greatest sportscaster who ever lived.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
There are legacies here both ways for him.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the good news for him is from the sportscasting perspective is he can do that for a long time. He's still a young man. If he wanted to go back on the field and coach and try his hand at it and see if it works,
he could make millions of dollars for a very long time doing sports.
Look, the bottom line is that guy is writing his own paychecks from now until the day he dies.
Yes.
So, because every team, there are going to be so many teams. I would imagine half of the NFL, if not more, might want to get their hands on him in some capacity, in any capacity.
Mm-hmm.
Like if he, even as a consultant, you don't want to be a coordinator? We'll take you as a consultant.
Yeah.
He could end up being like another Ron Wolf or something. I don't know. The guy has an unbelievable eye for the X's and O's of the game and his ability to then articulate it to the layman's, crowd. So he's processing what he's seeing on the field. It's going through his brain as a filter, and then he's spitting it out in layman's terms for everyone to understand.
Well in time before the play cut called.
Way before. Yeah. It's unbelievable. I mean, I'm sorry, but it cannot be overstated. Tony Romo in the booth is a wizard. He's a wizard. There's some sorcery going up. He's like Sauron up there.
Just brought a Lord of the Rings?
Yeah. He's the eye. The eye sees everything, man. He's unbelievable. He's something else. I know we're not talking about the game. We're talking about Tony Romo.
If you go to the other side where Patrick Mahomes, he made big throws. He went face-to-face with a juggernaut and came up short. His defense, like we said, just couldn't get to Brady. They couldn't get to him at all. Brady seemed cool, calm, and the whole damn day. And
Chiefs just couldn't make one stop in that overtime drive. No.
And
plagued them all game, and he couldn't make one stop.
And whenever you can't get to Brady, that is always proven to give the Patriots a W.
Yes.
The Chiefs defense
actually. I don't remember one play where they really had pressure on him.
I think that the Chiefs defense actually, I think everybody would think that they actually lost this game for them. Not just because of them, not being able to get the quarterback and, lining up in the neutral zone. That particular play, that boneheaded play that one right there could actually lost them the game. Like they had the opportunity to. It was just that was brutal. I was like so excited, and I saw the flag, and I was like, oh, maybe they were offsides. I'm like, and then of course it was the Chiefs. It was just so dumb, and he wasn't even close. He was like had a full shoulder over. It was like ridiculous.
He had like 5 fingers of Glenn Livett over the line. It was ridiculous. I'll tell you though, the one I have a sliver of hope for the Rams because I think McVay may be smarter than
Donald and Sue are getting to Brady.
It's not that.
Oh, they're getting to him.
Oh, no. I don't disagree with you on that. I have a sliver of hope because I think that McVay, despite his youth, might actually be a little smarter than Reed or Lynn. Because I believe he will look at the tape. He's got 2 weeks. Everyone says don't give Belichick 2 weeks. I wouldn't sleep on McVay either. He's a really bright young guy. His memory is ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I suspect he's going to look very closely at this tape over the course of the next couple weeks, and I think he's going to say, "Well, we got to take Edelman away from this. If we take Edelman out of this game, we can beat this team."
Yeah, but you got
to figure out a way to isolate.
In the Super Bowl, you always have those random dudes who come up.
Oh,
big.
of course,
it'll be like the Josh Reynolds or the Cordell Patterson or something
Dorsett.
like that. Yeah,
Dorsett.
Yeah, somebody randomly weird is going to come up.
But
big.
I mean that'll happen on the Rams side too. I mean that happens on both sides. That happened last year with the Eagles.
Yeah.
How many random Brandon Graham? I mean, no, don't get me wrong. Brandon Graham's a really good player, but he stripped Zach Brady, and thank God for that. Both sides will have their heroes. But the bottom line is for the Patriots, that Brady's going to be looking. Now, the good news is, to point out what you said, Donald and Sue are going to come right up the middle, which is going to clog that lane.
Yeah.
So Edelman's going to have to rely more on the outside stuff, which he also proved he could do last night because he got a bunch of outside.
Yeah, I mean, Sonny Michel should have a good game. He should have a good game against that team. He should.
He should. Sonny Michel's had a good game against everybody else he's played against. He's actually really making me rethink, holding on to him as a keeper now in one of my leagues. Because that's a whole thing. But anyways. Because the way he's played these last couple weeks is just insane.
Uh-huh.
But then again, I also say never trust Bill Belichick with a running back, though. Because he doesn't consistently favor one over another.
No.
He mixes and matches guys, and that's why he wins. Because he doesn't care about fantasy football. Look, the Patriots, they basically tell you, because Tony Romo's sitting up there in the booth telling all of us what they're going to do, they tell you what they're going to do, and you still can't stop them. Look, the Chiefs, we all knew. We're spectators, right? Mm-hmm. We are not anywhere near qualified to be on the sideline in an NFL game. And we're all sitting there watching that game, knowing full well on that 3rd and 10 play, three or four of those 3rd and 10 plays, he's going to Edelman, whether it's outside or over the middle. He's going.
Well, it's they do telegraph it a little bit because they put Gronk on the outside. Okay, they're going to throw it to him down the line. Just okay.
Right. Romo knew that play was going to Gronk. It went to Gronk.
Yep.
And Eric Berry, who I love, man, you got to turn around there, dude. Mm-hmm. Turn around and you could probably pick that ball or at the very least deflect it. Mm-hmm. They gave that game away in that overtime drive. I mean, and look, good on the Chiefs for. I have to tell you though, the future is outrageously bright for Patrick Mahomes because he did not look even remotely fazed by that moment last night.
No, not
even a bit. He was so poised, so calm in that game. He looked like he had been in 10 of those games. He
kind of had been this year.
Well, he just didn't.
He lost most of them, but.
And you know what I like about what we saw out of Patrick? First of all, by no means was last night's loss. You can't pin any small part, not even a fraction of a percentile, of that loss on Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, no.
He did everything you wanted a quarterback to do in a big game. And he did Patrick Mahomes-like things all game. He escaped sacks, made throws on the run. He made another no-look pass that should have been caught. That went right through the guy's hands. Mm-hmm. And he just, and the big play was there for him a couple of times too. Everything you wanted out of Patrick Mahomes, if you looked at the stat line, you would have said, and you saw the final stat line from him, you would have said, Chiefs going to win this game.
Yep.
But it was like that in the first game too.
Yeah.
These games were almost like mirror images of each other with like a slightly smaller score. And it came down to, this time it went overtime. The Chiefs got incrementally better from the first game, but not enough. Not enough to put them over the top. And the Patriots are marching to another Super Bowl exactly as I thought they would. This is no surprise. Should be no surprise to anybody. I never thought for a second that they were done. I never thought for a second because I've seen it so many times. So have you. I'm surprised that this. Frankly, I expect better from you. This shouldn't have gotten by you. I know maybe there was a party that just wanted to believe that the Chiefs were, going to be the team that was going to derail this, and I just don't think. I don't know who's going to derail it. I really don't.
The Chiefs should have won that game. I mean, they really should have won. They just couldn't do anything, and they dropped a lot of passes. They dropped a lot of passes. They dropped a lot of interceptions. There was so many things that happened that they should have had the opportunity. They had given themselves plenty of opportunity to win that game, and they just couldn't capitalize, particularly on defense. So it's weird, but so I don't know. I look at this. The Pats stepped up in the playoffs. They absolutely did, as they usually do. Like you said, they usually do. I should have seen it. I still feel like they look less tight. It feels like they make more penalties than they usually do. And I'm trying to give them credit, but this win for the Patriots really just deflated my mood. Ba-dum-boom. So that's about as much credit as I can give the Patriots.
I'm not going to give them. I'm done. My years of giving them. I'm not that I've really ever given them much credit. I mostly just give them crap for cheating and for their fans being unapologetically brazen, and completely unaccountable for anything that team has ever done. That's the thing I've just never understood either about Patriot fans. Like, here's the thing, if you're a Patriot fan, you can have it both ways. Like, you can be accountable for the discretions and still enjoy what they've done.
Yeah.
Like, you can. There's not like, you don't just have to be defiant. Like, you actually can function like a normal human being and say, I hate that they've done certain things the way that they've done, but I love that they're about to win a 6th Super Bowl. That's okay. That's actually a very human reaction. To me, it's very robotic for you to be defiant about it, and not only to enjoy it, but to obnoxiously enjoy it.
Yeah. Like,
Patriot fans they've never really learned how to win. I don't know. Maybe it's just because they've been hated for, you may recall this though. When they beat the Rams so many years ago in Super Bowl 36, when this all started, I actually did not hate them then. I was not rooting for them because I just couldn't root for another team in the division. I was rooting for the Rams. But I didn't hate them. When they won, I was kind of like, that's nice. But then again, that like predates Facebook and Twitter, and you start to see, social media really shows you just the amount of a-holes that are out there. And that actually has made it worse. Like, social media has made things worse for Patriots fans. Because if there wasn't this online community where we could all just, communicate with each other, you wouldn't really know how many of these people were really pricks. But
they wouldn't do it in real life. They wouldn't do it out in person.
No, who's walking out on the street, going to like the package store or going to pick up, dinner at a restaurant or something, and going in there and being like, screw all you guys, we're going back to another Super Bowl. Yeah. We love cheating. Hop on the cheat train. Here we go. I mean, no, you're not going to do that.
But when you get that keyboard warrior going,
everybody's a beast on Facebook, right? We're all men on Facebook. What's my chest hair? We're all men on Facebook, right? I mean, come on. Everybody's a tough guy on Facebook. And actually, that's part of the reason why I left. Why I have retired from Facebook, because I just don't want to deal with it.
Did you actually delete your account?
No. And in fact, I didn't even deactivate it because I'm not even like looking at it. I didn't deactivate it because I want you to be able to have the ability to tag me.
Gotcha. Okay.
So that people who follow me will be able to see the link for YouTube.
Okay. Cool.
So I thought it through.
Oh, good.
Just,
Yeah,
I didn't deactivate.
So you missed out on Joe Pacino. He said,
I have no idea what happened.
He said,
I haven't checked anything since I did my final sign off last night.
He posted on there, and he said to me, or he said to you about me that I am a spitting image of Sean McVay.
Actually, I can see that a little bit. I still think you're more the Miz, but that's a good point, though.
Yeah. He was like, that's what he said. So,
you got a lot of lookalikes.
Yeah, I guess.
I have no lookalikes. I'm very not attractive.
Duck Dynasty, man. You're Duck Dynasty.
Well, yeah, but that's not going to last long.
You got to start wearing camo on the show.
This thing's going to go. So I do have one piece of camo clothing, which I actually wore, I think, once this year. So. With shorts.
Oh, Damien posts, you're not on Facebook anymore, so does that mean you are not a man? ?
You are correct. That's right. I'm not. Trying to podcast with another boy.
Just a boy.
And communicating only on Twitter. Yeah, that's it. I'm done. I tapped out. Damien, they put me away. The Patriots fans did me in.
I have been like, this past year, I've like limited my time on Facebook because I found myself being sucked in. So that's why I started limiting my time. It's one of those things that like you just start scrolling and you're like, oh, that's kind of cool. Like scrolling,
it's a world.
Like, and then you just kind of like scroll, and then you're like, holy crap, 25 minutes just went by. Like I could have gotten so much crap done.
Yeah, it's actually, I remember a few years ago when our friend Tim Callahan quit Facebook.
Oh, yeah.
And he
was on Facebook at one point?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
He has been gone for, I want to say 3 or 4 years now. And I think he's, like, never been happier. He actually, I told him last night, I sent him a text. I'm like, I just quit Facebook. And he's like, you won't even care after a month. Mm-hmm. He just, that's what he said. He was just like, it's like, that's it. It's over and...
Yes, I find Twitter more useful because for one,
that's the exact word I used. I said I'm not leaving Twitter. I said Twitter's useful.
Yeah, I find it more useful because like the people that I follow, it pops up in my feed and like I'm scrolling through and I'm actually learning something about like sports or something like that. Like John Heyman's company posted something about this or that kind of stuff and it's much I don't know. It's different. It's just a different experience.
Very different.
And even Instagram, I don't mind Instagram. I think it's similar to Facebook, but it's more picture related, So it's like complete pictures and that's it. And so you're getting to photo albums and all that kind of stuff. So I find that a little bit more useful too. But I just, for some reason, Facebook is kind of over the last year or so, I just kind of didn't lose interest, but I just I don't care as much.
Damien's last point here. I should probably follow you out the door. It's bad. It is bad. I don't know if you were. I don't know if you were on at the kickoff of the show, but I really do think that Facebook is kind of a toxic environment. I also believe it's a very fake environment. All these people lead you to believe that their lives are just this one big happy. Everything is great. Oh, look what we did. Look at us. Look how great my kid is. It's so fake to me. I mean, it just is. I mean, and I think there's assumptions that people make about your lives too, because we don't put our kids on Facebook.
Well, with all this trash talk on Facebook, this will get 0 play on Facebook.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Zuckerberg's going to be like, what did you say? I'm going to ban your account.
Like I said, you can tag me all you want. I'm just done. I did not deactivate the account. Because, again, I want you to be able to tag me so that people who are still my Facebook friends can see it, and then maybe they'll pick up on it. But, yes, Facebook feeds the negativity. It draws people in, so they encourage it, is what Damien said. Absolutely.
Damien's got a lot of them on here.
Wholeheartedly agree. Damien and I don't always agree, but what do? We agree vehemently, and I agree with him on this.
He did say he'll let you hang on to man-child, so that's good. What else did he say here?
I embraced man-child, actually, because I'm still so much a child at heart. But I am clearly in the body of a man. Well, sort of. I mean, this is as closest to merely, hey, now, hold on.
Chest hair.
By the way, it's only this little patch right here. There's none anywhere else. It's just the most bizarre thing.
Okay.
Well, anyways.
Let's get out of that. Let's get out of your chest hair.
Let's get out of there.
So. Not as loud this time. That's good, right? Was that not as loud? Still loud? Still too loud?
Yeah, it's not too bad.
He said he's more child than man. All right, so let's get into some baseball here. Yeah, still no signing of Manny Machado
or Bryce
Harper.
And actually, did you see the tweet from Bryce Harper?
No.
You know what? Talk, and I'll find it for you. It was funny because it's an indication of just how far away I think he is from signing.
I don't know if the Sonny Gray thing isn't final yet, is it?
No, it's not. No, because they're trying to get a negotiating window.
Right. Okay. So
what's that 72? Oh, here it is. Confirm. So this thing already is almost up to 100,000 likes. This was 11 hours ago. Confirmed. Just called Tony Romo to see where I'm going to play next year. So, but like honestly, you know what my first reaction to that was? By the way, from John Heyman, although I think John Heyman is a hack, and I am at some point going to stop reporting on him in any way, shape, or form on this show because I think it's bad. But he said no deal done yet, but there seems to be some optimism the Reds will be able to extend Sonny Gray and get this long-running trade completed. If not, Yanks may look elsewhere for a deal. So there's that. But going back to the Bryce Harper thing, look, I'm sure obviously there was a lot of tongue-in-cheek there. But God, it just does kind of show you, though, that it kind of makes you think that he's really not that close to signing.
Right, yeah.
I mean, it really does.
Yeah.
And there's been nothing out of Machado other than what his father is saying.
Yeah.
So,
it's like Machado is waiting for the market to keep going up when it's not going to go up any higher.
Not at this point.
Like you are at your max. You're just going to have to pick the team that you want to sign with.
Yeah, you're going to have to, or if you want to just do that thing where you take a 1-year deal where somebody throws $40 million at you and try it again next year. But
so I mean, there's a lot of things out there.
I wouldn't do that either because he has more competition in free agency next year, which may or may not be good. But I don't know.
Yeah. There is, I think Manny Machado is going to have some serious competition in free agency next year with Nolan Arenado.
Well, yes, that's what I mean.
That is a huge, because I think that Arenado...
Unless the Yankees complete a trade for him and extend him.
Right, and there is a chance that could happen. There is a chance. There has been talks about that. I know Chris Corelli, a guy that we have on the show every once in a while, who writes for SNY for the Yanks, covers the Yanks. He had posted something on there recently about the possibility of them trading for Nolan Arenado.
I'd be cool with that.
I'd be fine with that too. The guy that I really want though is Anthony Rendon. I think that he's just I think he's the best third baseman, like defensive third baseman. And I also think he has proven outside of Colorado that he can hit. He is just a talented player. And I think he's about the same age as Arenado. He might be like a year older, but I like that because that means less money guaranteed you don't have to shell out 7 years or 6 years or 5 years. You could probably get them for 4, when they're a little bit older. I like that. Let's see what we have here. Damian, if I ran a Japanese NPB team, I'd offer him a 1-year, $50 million contract as a publicity stunt. Hey, that,
why not?
That wouldn't be the worst thing for them. Then upon they have money to throw around than upon professional baseball.
Yeah, they do.
So I think I'm really just I'm shocked that it's taken so long. I don't know what Machado. I just don't know what he's waiting for. I don't know if it's just him trying to feel like he's doing what he wants to do.
Do you have the clip of Jennifer Love Hewitt screaming, "What are you waiting for?"
No.
From I Know You Did Last Summer.
Why would I randomly have that clip?
I don't know, but that would have been great. What are you waiting for, huh? You just watch her spin around and things move.
Chest hair?
Yeah, that's it.
And like Bryce Harper, I can kind of understand because there hasn't been a lot of noise. There just hasn't been much going on. I think people are actually the noise around Machado is so much greater. Because they feel like there's more fits. Like I think, third or short, there's multiple positions that he could play. Whereas Harper, possibly first base, possibly outfield, but there's injury problems. So I feel like he's the secondary guy when I actually think that Harper probably over his lifetime will be a better player.
Do you think either or both of these guys are still maybe holding out hope that the Yankees are going to somehow jump in here?
I think 100%. That's what I think. One of them at least is holding out for that.
Well, if I were either of them, I would move on from that. I really would. I would move on. We just mentioned that, Damian, by the way, the tweet, the Bryce's tweet to Romo. Is he on a delay? Oh, he might be, actually. I don't know. Yeah. But I don't know.
Yeah, they're all on delay. The Facebook feed is like 30 seconds behind.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. There's part of me that almost thinks that like either or both of these guys is holding on to some sort of desperate hope that the Yankees are going to jump in at the last second here. I just don't think that's going to happen because the Yankees right now are already. Well, let's assume they're going to lose Sonny Gray and whatever has got in arbitration there, $7.5 million, something like that. It's still. I don't listen to anything you say. The Yankees are already over the luxury tax threshold, and they are going to be for this year again. So, if you add one of those guys, you're still looking at. I mean, even if you get either one of them on like a bargain basement deal, they're still $25 million a year. It's going to put you into. I don't know what the level. I can't remember what the levels are here of the threshold, but they're already over it now, which means they're going to pay 20% of whatever amount they're over, which will not be much, but even still, I think the Yankees have really changed their mindset. I do believe that this is although a fully operational Death Star, I think it's a slightly more intelligent Death Star with not any holes that you can shoot a laser down that will just blow it up. So I think they're going to operate a little more tight here. And I just don't see them making a big splash. I think last year was their splash. They said, look, we can get a National League MVP coming off of almost 60 home runs for absolutely nothing. Or we can take a chance next year, wait around for either Harper or Machado and spend
so next
more,
year
and spend more.
Next year, Rendon and Arenado are both free agents.
Yeah. Yes.
So that is like...
Yeah. It's huge. Maybe that's why Machado... I can't imagine why he'd want to jump into that. I mean, the competition could either drive up his price or really hurt it because then the market is saturated with guys who are going to make $25 million or more.
Right.
Each one of those guys is going to command at least $23 million.
Well, right now they're both making like 18.
Right.
And
they're going to get
and
Arenado. I'm guessing Damien would agree, but I would imagine each of those three, Machado, Arenado, Rendon, are all $25 million plus guys.
Yeah. And Arenado is I think a year and a half to 2 years younger.
Yeah. Yes.
Than Rendon.
And Machado. And here's the thing: if Machado, despite his,
he's 1 year. 1 year.
And the fact that Machado is unsigned, it really starts to reopen all of those questions about did his dirty play and his outright telling you that he's not Johnny Hustle, is it hurting him?
Oh yeah.
It's kind of hard to say that it isn't. I have to believe that it is. Because there should be a market for this guy. I mean, there's a market, but there should have been guys jumping at this guy. Mm-hmm. Teams should have been jumping. He's 26 years old. You do not get two guys like this in their prime at 26 years of age available on the free agent market. It just doesn't happen. You get 28, you get 29, not 26. Where there's still a long road ahead for both of these guys. There are still 7 solid years for both of these guys. Even with Harper's hard play, I still suspect he's a productive guy at age 33 by the time like a 7-year deal would end for him. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, but for Machado, Harper, I don't know quite what the story is. I still think Harper's going to end up getting paid quite a bit. But for Machado, I'm sorry. I think all of his shenanigans and that, horribly mistimed interview with Ken Rosenthal, I think that stuff really has hurt him. I really do.
Yeah. Yeah, Damien says, I think Machado may end up closer to 20 at this point, but his value on the field is probably at least 25 mil, depending on how you measure his value.
And I would agree, because if with Machado, too, it's hard to ignore the stuff. I can't ignore the stuff, which is why I changed my mind on him after all that stuff came out, because I was like, I don't want this guy on my team, and I still stand by that. But it's hard to, if you strip all that out, and you look at the fact that he's been very healthy, and that he is obviously very productive, and he had a really good contract here. Normally, guys like that, despite some of their flaws, get paid. Now, is he still going to get paid? Yeah, he's still going to get paid. He's still going to get paid probably at least $200 million. But he could have been $300 million if he had just kept his mouth shut and didn't step on anybody's heels. Mm-hmm. He probably, I really believe it's cost him. I really do. And you know what? He'll have a press conference eventually, and he'll stand up there holding up some jersey for some team, and he'll look happy. But he'll probably be thinking to himself, "Man, this could have been a different team, and it could have been more money if I guarantee you, if that guy could go back in time, and at least I don't know which
You really think that? I think he's the kind of person that's like, I did what I did, and
I'll
own it.
Come on, we're all. I don't know.
He seems like that kind of guy. Like, I don't care.
I think he's arrogant, but I don't know if he's stupid. Maybe he is stupid.
He's been doing it over and over and over again.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, that is the definition of insanity, right? Doing the same thing, expecting the same result.
Right.
I mean, a different result.
And he's actually...
Maybe he's an idiot.
He's waiting, and people are going to just start taking their offers off the table because people are going to get signed. Like, the Yankees are going to sign other people, and they're eventually going to have any money left. So they're going to be off the table.
Yankees have more infielders than any team I've ever seen.
Yeah.
They're
going to do something. They have to do something. There has to be something big that they're planning. Like, there has to be, because they have way too many infielders.
Part of me thinks no, because I'm starting to really think that LeMahieu is just insurance for Tulowitzki. Because I just think they're just saying, okay, we cannot bet. I mean, if Tulowitzki gets us to DD,
but LeMahieu is not a shortstop.
Amazing. No, but what I'm saying is Torres then would move to short, and then LeMahieu would be at second full time.
Well, that would be bad.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Well,
I'd rather have LeMahieu at short.
Yeah, but Glaber's natural position is obviously still short. So if you're going to make a move, that's the move you're going to make. You're not going to take LeMahieu from his Gold Glove position at second.
It would stink for us because that would be going from a Gold Glove caliber shortstop to having one of the bottom third shortstops in the league. So that would be pretty rough. But I mean,
that is still my feeling though, and I believe that if Tulo stays healthy, that LeMahieu becomes this roving infielder who will get used at second. He'll give guys breathers. He might even see a game or two at short just for the heck of it. He'll be he can play any of those infield positions. I think you and I probably both agree on that.
Yeah.
And I really think that's how he's going to get his at-bats. I think he's going to give guys blows throughout the year. Everyone's going to be able to take a day off here and there, and he'll just move around that infield. I
don't like that, though, because he is by far the best second baseman. That's his best position.
Sure.
And I would just love to have him there, implemented there, not having to worry about where he's playing every day. Just boom, right at second base every day.
I wouldn't be surprised if in a week we heard about some sort of trade where Gleyber Torres was being dangled for some big pitcher.
That could happen.
Named Madison Bumgarner.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, which I would do. As much as I love Gleyber, I'm sorry. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Bye-bye, because if I can get Mad Bum, that's
I think I think at some point in time during this season, depending on how the Rockies are playing, I think you might see it's either that or maybe the Yankees go after Anthony Rendon or they go after Nolan Arenado. And Rendon is a little bit more money. I think he's making like about $1.3 million more this year, but it depends on where their money, their cap is and everything like that. But I think overall, if there is a chance that Andujar gets, see you later, for a comparable bat, which is actually a better bat, because I think Arenado and Rendon are both a little bit better bats because they both get on base more. And I think they're both far superior defenders. So I think they don't mind going into camp and going into the beginning of the season with Andujar, seeing how he's going to play. But I think if they see similarities on defense, I wouldn't be surprised if you see him gone by like mid-June, maybe July, the beginning of July. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case, especially if the Yankees aren't running away or if they're in the hunt for first. I think that you're going to see some moves like that. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Gleyber gets dealt either. That wouldn't be surprised to get a top tier pitcher, get that true number ace where like there's no arguments, like where you and I have arguments back and forth. Like last year, it was like Sevy or was it Tanaka or all this kind of stuff. We would just be like, oh, they have Madison Bumgarner, he's their number one, and then it filters down.
That's your number one in the postseason,
yeah,
and then it filters cascades
down
from there. Yes.
Yeah. So and then then you can alternate, and have lefty righty
lefty
whatever you want to do, however you want to do it. But yeah, that would be very interesting. But all right, I think that's pretty much it. I mean, the only thing that I wanted to say about the whole Sonny Gray thing is if the Reds do acquire Sonny Gray, their rotation will be pretty good.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah, I mean it's actually enough to keep them in the mix for the playoffs. Not necessarily get them in, but keep them in the mix, keep them in the hunt through most of the season. I don't think they'll make it, but hey, I wouldn't be shocked. I mean, crazier things happened, like the A's last year. I think the A's just somehow put it together and made it work. You know,
and I don't know much about the guy Shed Long that they're getting back.
Me neither. I just know he's another infielder.
It's another second baseman. Other than his name,
Sonny Gray, a weird combination for names anyway, traded for Shed Long.
Shed Long.
What?
Yeah, it's interesting.
Weird.
The one thing I will, I think he was the number 6 rated second base prospect in the minors overall. I think that's what I read. I've seen that in a couple of different spots. I don't know if it's accurate.
He's another one that you could. They could work
check Baseball America, but
they could be working these minor leaguers that they're trading for that are prospects.
Well, I think the Yankees are also trying to replenish this farm system now because they traded a lot of it. So
I mean, they still. A lot of them are up.
A lot of them came up.
Yeah.
So
I mean, because what they can do is they could take that guy and take another guy and move Andahar and send him over to Colorado or however it goes. But
yep. Yeah.
There we go. We got another one from Damien. It's fairly meh trade if it happens. No star players involved. It's fine, but whatever. I think it's just another tool to have in a trade.
I think it's a chip.
Yeah.
I think it's a chip for the Yankees.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not one they wanted. They wanted Sonny Gray to work out.
Yeah.
We all wanted Sonny Gray to work out. They all wanted Sonny Gray to be their number 2 guy. Just didn't happen.
Yeah. Hey.
It happened on the road. But it didn't happen at home.
I'm glad we started talking about baseball, so you could stop showing off your chest hair. Like that was getting a little, you were. Oh yeah,
the girl at the end there was.
Yeah, she was all about it. That chest hair, yeah, the Bryman.
She's stock footage, but whatever.
What are you talking about? That's the in-show audience. You can't see it? It's right there.
Yeah, that's right.
Right over there. Right over there.
In front of a live studio audience.
Yeah. I mean, you can't see them because they're in my house. They're just sitting there, cheering us on.
Yeah.
That's live, bro. That's live.
Start doing this show together, like side by side, and down in Killingworth there, or wherever you are.
Showing off your chest hair. You should just wear like a nice tight white beater.
Ooh. Yeah.
You can hear it!
We could.
Can you hear it? You hear this?
Of course I hear it. Yeah, I hear it.
This is your jam.
I know this. I hear
Speaking of this music, I've actually, I didn't protest, but I was not going to watch the Men in Black trailers because I just was like, I can't believe they're doing this. This looks dumb. And then I watched the Men in Black trailers, and I was like, okay, I'm on board. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think it looks good. Did you see the Leslie Jones blow up about, she went off on the Ghostbusters 3 thing. She basically...
Oh, no, I didn't.
Said it was like something Trump would do. She thought it was like a slap in the face to the women's version, and I think she felt like them making that movie was like a slap in the face to the all-female version, and you know what? And I like Leslie Jones, but I think she's off on this one.
Yeah.
I mean, why can't they just make another version of? Why can't they just do a Ghostbusters 3? It's not an indictment on your version at all.
Right. Well, I don't think it is. Except their movies made monies and yours didn't. Like that's sorry, it's a business. Like it's not a slap in the face.
It is a business.
Your
movie
not right. Lost money to the studio. So
right, it did $70 million to be exact.
And they want to try and make a movie that can make some money, and they're going to try something different.
And I like the female version.
I do
thought
too.
It was good. I still watch it every once in a while.
I've watched it
on. I usually stop. The girls like it too.
I probably watched it about 3 or 4 times. And
it's actually a good movie. It's not a bad movie. Yeah. This is complete. They're not mutually exclusive. There's nothing to do. One has nothing to do with the other here. So
yeah, because it's not like they played their like when they made appearances in the movie, but they didn't play their characters.
They didn't play their characters. They were cameos. Yeah, it's just like an alternate universe movie.
Yeah.
Now this one is just getting back to the original 2, and it's probably completing it as a trilogy where the old guys, whichever one of them are still alive, are now bringing in a new set of Ghostbusters.
I hope so.
And they haven't even determined that these are all going to be like... the only thing I read was that these were going to be teenagers, that they were going to be grooming younger actors, but I didn't read anything about it all being men.
Yeah, no idea.
It could be a mix. Why not be a mix? I mean, I don't know. I think her anger was a woman's place. sort of blew off it. She did actually backtrack some of her comments a little bit too. She tried to clarify it, but it still didn't come off great. And bringing like Trump into it, that was just dumb. There was no there's like just no there was just like no reason for that at all. I don't know. I thought.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm very excited about a third Ghostbusters movie with Murray Ackroyd and Ernie Hudson coming back. You know.
Yeah.
It still breaks my heart that Harold Ramis is dead. Egon was probably my favorite. He was awesome.
He was awesome. He was a lot of fun. Oh, I just clicked on something by accident. You know, maybe she was just channeling from Saturday Night Live. Maybe she's just channeling her thing that she just did, the raunchiest Miss Rita.
Oh,
just
yeah.
going on there and getting on that.
I did see that.
She was still in character.
That was not funny.
I actually didn't mind it. I thought it was okay. Like it was too long. It was too long. Like when she first went up there and then she said that first one, I laughed. I laughed pretty hard.
There was like so much bleeping that you couldn't even like really make out any of what she was saying. It just kind of got like to be a little.
I kind of got it. I had an inkling of what she was saying. It was pretty funny, but it wasn't great. Marvelous Miss Maisel, by the way, tremendous show.
I don't know what that is. I mean, I've seen it, but I've seen like the ads for it. I've never watched it.
Do you have Amazon?
No.
The Amazon Prime? Oh, so it is.
That can't stop me from watching whatever.
You don't have Amazon Prime?
Just to be clear. No, I don't.
No? Oh,
I don't have Netflix either, but I still watch Netflix shows.
So the Marvelous Miss Maisel is a phenomenal show. Phenomenal. It is phenomenal show. It is great. I love that show. My wife, she started watching. She watched like the first 2 episodes last year. And she was like, "This is a really good show. This should be in our our repertoire of shows that we watch." And we watched that. I really enjoyed it. And then the second season came out. We watched it within the first couple weeks. And it is a really, really good show. It's about stand-up comedians. You know, so I mean, it's very similar to what you saw, but but a better, much better.
Speaking of stand-up comedians, I did watch Sebastian Maniscalco's Stay Hungry special, which was live from Radio City Music Hall. Good show. Funny. Very funny. There were some parts where I was there was one part towards the end, because in about an hour show, it was somewhere in the last 15 minutes, I was laughing so hard for so long. I actually don't remember what the joke was, but he doesn't really tell jokes. He tells stories, and they're just... Oh, I love him. I think he's great.
See, I've listened. I'm gonna I'll try and revisit him again. But I listened to 2. I got about a third of the way through 2 of his different routines.
Yeah.
And I barely laughed.
Really?
Yeah. Barely laughed at all. And me and my wife were just kind of like, I think this one's missing us. We don't.
Yeah, I mean, it may not resonate.
Yeah.
It may not resonate.
Which is weird because she comes from an Italian family.
Yeah.
So it's weird, you'd think that, and I am all about stereotypes and making fun of them.
Oh,
and all
absolutely.
That stuff. And I think that anything's open when it comes to comedy. I have an open mind for
That's
it.
the whole point of it. So do I.
Right. So
that's the point of it.
So I watched it and I didn't really care for it. But I've been watching a lot of the Mike Birbiglia stuff lately. I find him hilarious. His storytelling is very good as well.
I think your taste changed too, because I used to love Dane Cook.
Oh, I still love Dane Cook. I don't know. I can sit down and listen to Harmful to Swallowed, Retaliation. I can listen to it now and still crack me up. Still. Yeah. But some of it, he's got a couple of, he had one that was not great. It was kind of mediocre. And then he had another one that was pretty funny. He's had some hit or misses lately, but there are some that are really funny. But Amy Schumer had that one that was really good. And then she had the next one that was just kind of I felt more sad for than I thought was funny. But then, her and Dane Cook both have had some issues with thievery of material. Not as bad as, Carlos Mencia and all that kind of stuff. But Amy Schumer, I guess, is, I don't know if you should go online, go onto YouTube, type in Amy Schumer steals jokes, something like that, anything. Okay. And there is a compilation. It's about 30 minutes. It's bad. So I don't know if did you ever watch Ellen DeGeneres?
The show?
No, when she was a stand-up.
Oh, when she was stand-up, I probably saw a couple.
She had a routine
there.
Back in the mid-90s.
Yeah.
Where she, and granted, I can see where some of this stuff is parallel thinking. I can see how you could think, like some people would think exactly the way that the comedian's thinking, or two comedians thinking the same. I could see it happening, and just
I could too.
Right. So, but like this whole compilation makes it like that's a lot of parallel thinking.
So what do they do? Do they show like a split screen, like they show one?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So like in the Ellen DeGeneres case, she had a whole bit about popcorn. She had a bit about popcorn where she was, talking about how she eats it and like how humans eat it. Like they're like, oh, like going crazy and like picking it out from their butt and eating it and all that kind of stuff. Because that's how like they drop it drops it on the floor. You pick it up.
It's in the crack there.
Because, you can't leave the popcorn away.
No.
So Amy Schumer, they show her on Ellen DeGeneres talking about popcorn and eating it like a maniac. Like to her face on her show.
Really?
Yeah, and it's like, the two things were like 20 plus years apart, but it's like, so they have that in there. So I could see how that could be parallel thinking.
So, was that an homage, or was it like plagiarism though? Like, maybe it was like sort of a subtle homage to a bit that she had done.
She didn't say anything about it.
Who didn't say anything about it?
Either.
Schumer?
Either of them said anything about it.
Well, maybe it was, like I said, maybe it was
She's doing a lot of. She's doing a lot of.
Yeah,
she's
trying to give her benefit of the doubt, but
she's doing a lot of homages.
There's a lot of homaging.
Yes.
Well.
She's in a menage a nom. How can I say that? Menage homager.
I don't know. Maybe just don't say
it. She does it a lot. She is all about that homaging. All right, so that's it for our show.
I guess. Yeah, it seems like a good place to wrap up. Seems like as good a place as any.
Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you guys on Saturday.
What are we going to talk about on Saturday?
Probably baseball. Maybe we might get into a little. Let's see. Talk about the upcoming AFC versus the NFC.
I'm not watching it, just so you know.
You want to break down the skills challenges?
Oh, wait, we can talk some basketball.
Yes. That'd be awesome.
Basketball. Good.
Yes.
I need to catch up a little bit.
Lonzo's out for 4 to 6 weeks.
Alonzo Mourning? He's still playing? Lonzo Ball.
He's so frail. Lonzo Ball is there's gonna be every year he's gonna be out for somewhere like 4 to 6 weeks. He's just
does not have a frame that looks like it's built for
82 games. Yeah,
anything really. Maybe playing with like a Tonka truck or something. I don't know. It just doesn't. He's not even like wiry. He's just frail. I think frail is a good word.
Yeah.
Quiety. Quiety.
Am I
Do you know what that's from? Do you know what that's from?
No.
Quiety.
No. We're closing up shop right now.
I like Damien's idea. A full hour of Manny Machado. Do it.
Maybe somebody gets signed.
Oh, God. It'd be great to talk about. I don't know. It just feels like it's not going to happen. Nope. It almost feels like these guys are going to go into like spring training and they're not going to be signed. And we're going to be like, they'll be on the team eventually. Opening day comes.
Bryce won't let that happen. Because Bryce cares about baseball.
I think he does.
I think Manny's like, whatever, just pay me my money.
And I still think Bryce to Philly is somewhat inevitable. I don't know that Manny to anybody is inevitable right now.
I think he's going. I think the reason why he hasn't signed is because the White Sox have the best offer and he doesn't want to play for the White Sox.
I completely agree. He does not want to play for the White Sox. Can you blame him? Well, you're going to sign Yonder Alonso and John Jay, and that's going to be the way you lure. Those guys are there for a year. Then what? He's on his own with the rest of a clubhouse that probably hates him.
I got to do this for Damien.
He was doing his job.
If Patriots fans were pizzas, they'd be cocksucker supremes.
Anytime Tom Brady walks on a field, you are well within your right to throw a big floppy on that field.
Jesus.
It's not about how hard you can hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
I wish I could do a retake on that one, because he didn't. Stallone didn't go so hard on them. That's how winning was done. It was actually much more.
I think it's better. It's just like that whole get to the chopper thing. Like in the movie, he doesn't go get to the chopper.
Get to the chopper.
He's like get to the chopper. Like that's what he says. He doesn't
get to the chopper. The bridge is out.
Yeah, he doesn't. He's not like get to the chopper.
See, the bridge is out one is a little more loud because he's hanging off of a helicopter and he's pointed. The bridge is out.
So he doesn't. But I think the emphasis on the way that you do it.
The bridge is out. It's not about how hard you can hit. It's about how hard.
This is how he should have said it.
And keep
That's how winning is done.
That's how winning is done.
That's how he should have said it. I
don't think there's an hour worth of Bryman clips, but I think that's probably. Oh, maybe some bleeps. I don't know. You'd have to. That'd be a lot of research for you to try.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I ain't got time for that. We need to hire interns.
All kinds of stuff of me singing badly. That would actually be fun.
We need some interns for that.
Do you have any of me singing Christmas music?
No. No. I mean, we do. I just don't have it clipped out.
And nor should you be using any of your time to do it.
It's true. I think that's it. I think that's all I really got, man. As far as all that stuff goes. But yeah.
Wow.
Yep, that's it. All right. Thanks, Damien. Thanks for keeping the conversation going.
Thanks for keeping the coal on the fire. Speaking of which, I'm going to go get the fire going right now. I don't know what's the temperature in your neck of the woods. I think it's about -6 over here.
It's cold. It is cold. Here, Alexa.
Baby,
what's the temperature outside?
3?
Did it say 3 degrees?
She said right now it's 3 degrees.
No, she did not. Alexa.
Yeah.
What's the temperature outside? Holy crap! It's 3 degrees.
Yeah, it's 3 degrees.
Holy crap! It's actually 3 degrees.
Not 1, not 2.
I thought you were joking.
No,
it's freaking
I
cold.
told you it's like -6 here with the wind chill. It's insane. Oh. And there's going to be some points today where it's like in the -20s with the wind chill.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
Well, in that case,
yeah, it's bad. It's bad out, dude. Don't go out. Do not go outside today. I love winter more than anyone, but this is insane.
I just activated his. That's awesome.
So?
I activated Damien's Echo. I'll say Echo.
Oh, did you?
I activated it, yes, because I said. You know what I said. You know what I said. I don't want to say it again because I don't want to activate it again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
The Echo dot.
Yeah, the dot. Oh, sure. Really much more to say today.
Alexa, where's Manny Machado going to sign?
That's a good question. I don't know. Well, he ain't going back there.
No.
You couldn't activate my Alexa because, one, I have headphones on with 2 upstairs. So
yeah.
I don't have one down here, thank God.
Here you go, Damien. Alexa, tell me a joke. Bye.
We're signing off. Stay classy,